Hi, my name is Patrick Malich, and this is a demo of my semester-long project called Virtuoso. It was for independent study at Clemson University. This project was created in Unity and C# for the Oculus Rift and Oculus Touch controllers. It also uses the Oculus OVR plugin. Everything else you see here was created by me in Adobe Illustrator and Autodesk Maya. I'll start off with the basics of the project first, and then work my way into more specific functionalities later. So essentially, every scene contains dummies, which represent objects that can be grabbed and animated. In this scene in particular, I have 3 dummies: a male dummy, a frisbee dummy, and a female dummy. The dummy you are currently animating can be flipped through using the A or X button on your touch controllers. You'll notice that an indicator, or the dummy indicator, will hover over which dummy you are currently animating. I've set up my project in convenient ways so that any user can quickly import an FBX and simply add the dummy tag to it. And at runtime, certain scripts will compile with the dummy and make it able to be grabbed and animated. So let's get into interaction techniques. You'll notice on your left arm there's a couple of different things going on. First, the rectangle above is the slider field. This represents the amount of frames you have to work with. On that are 3 sliders: the start slider, the current slider, and the end slider. The way to interact with these is using your right index finger, get close to the slider, and a slider indicator will appear above currently hovered slider, or the closest one. If you get close enough to the slider, you will begin sliding it. Now below that are 5 bands. These represent buttons that allow the user to interact with their animation. The way to interact with these are in a similar fashion, hovering over, but now they will, instead of using a slider indicator, they will unfold to let you know which one you're hovering over. If you get close enough to the hovered band, it will toggle. So I'll go over a couple real quick. This is the speed band. This represents the speed which you are animating at. Right now it's at real time. This is the start band. This will move you back to the frame that the start slider is currently at. This is the play band, which will alternate between playing and pausing your currently recorded animation. So let's start animating. You'll notice on the back of my hands are game objects. These are called gloves, and they're there to visually show you what mode of animation you're in. Right now I'm in overwrite mode. So I'll show you what overwrite mode does. So let's move to the very first frame. Let's say I want to start animating this selected dummy, the female dummy. I have her selected. I'm going to use the grip button on the Oculus Touch controller to grab her and move her to the beginning of this river. Now if I play my animation, you'll notice that it was recorded in real time. Also notice that there are 2 outlines of the female dummy. One is the position and orientation of where the start slider's at. One is where the end slider's at. Then you can use the current slider to actually move the female dummy. So now that we have some animation, let's say we didn't like how it turned out and we wanted to change it. Since we're in override mode, we're going to grab her again and bring her out more this way. And if we play our animation, you notice that the previous animation has been completely overwritten, thus the overwrite mode. Now let's say you actually ended up liking the first way of the first time you animated. No worries, you can always undo. And redo. So we're going to go with the first mode of animation, the first animation we recorded. So that sums up the override mode. So let's talk about the refine mode. The refine mode can be accessed by pressing the Y or B buttons on your touch controllers. It's nice, the refine mode is nice for creating small adjustments and tweaks to an already good recorded animation. To show this, I'm going to create a new animation first. The female dummy jumping over the river. So I'm going to switch back to overwrite mode. I'll show you that animation. So let's say right here, we decide we want her to be a little higher. Instead of having to completely overwrite the animation, you can switch to refine mode and grab her, and you'll notice that a refine guide appears. This is just to show the original position of her before refinement. Move her to her new position I'd like her to be in, and the refinement has happened. What this means is that from the start slider to the end slider frame, it is taken into account the change from her original position to her new refinement position, and disperse that change using an ease in, ease out curve throughout these frames. So I'll show you what that looks like. So it's used for a nicer, more smooth disbursement of that change rather than just lerping. So that does it for refinement. The last thing I'd like to show you is the ghost band. The ghost band toggles ghosting on and off. What this means is a ghost outline of the currently selected dummy will appear and go through the recorded animation, like so. This is useful for seeing instant results of your changes to your animation without having to go back and press play and pause. You also notice that when ghosting, there is a actual ghost slider to show you what frame it's on in the slider field. So to give an example of use cases of the ghost functionality, we're going to change the animation from the female dummy going to the start of the river in a curved fashion to it being in a diagonal fashion. I'm going to use the help of the ghost. So I'm going to turn play off, back. So now you can see your results instantly, instead of having to press play and pause. And this is a nice convenient feature. So that does it for ghosting. At this point in the video, I'm going to show you a time lapse of me creating an animation. This is to give you an idea of how quickly one can create a decent animation in real time using Virtuoso. This project took quite a lot of time and I'm very proud of it, so thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed the demo.